Hey everybody, Mike Pfeiffer Hobby Supply. Today we're going to do update 27. I hope you enjoy it. There's been a lot of stuff going on here. A lot of it's piddly tedious work, but I'm sure you'll probably enjoy what's been going on. And I have an announcement to make a couple of changes out here, and we'll see what you think. I think my mind's made up, but we'll see what you think anyways. So I hope you enjoyed this one, and let's get on with this. Okay, gang, a surprise. I finally got up the courage to try and put my log pond back in. As you can see, this track is overhanging where it's not going to be, but you can see that the pond is in, and it is basically in place. I've got to fill in some plaster and stuff along here and around it, everything of course, but I did use some hot glue to hold it in place. And it's not going anywhere. And of course the top of the water needs to be cleaned off. There's a couple things that need to be fixed on it. The only thing that kept this together is this this chain. There's a piece of jewelry chain right there that goes down, goes in the water, comes back, and it is the chain that would have the hooks on it that would allow the logs to be pulled up into the saw. So I have the sawdust burner sitting over there. I have the pieces I need laying right there, plus a couple of guys that need to be put on this to fix it. But I do have, let me show you, I do have the lighting down through the board. So all that's ready to go. I just have to find, I have a flicker light that goes on the sawdust burner. But anyway, that'll go back together now just like a piece of cake. All I have to do is do some scenery work around it, and it'll be good to go. Get that track there put in down to here, and we'll be off and running. So that track, by the way, is not hooked up. It's just sitting up against that turnout. So there we have it. I like it, and I was happy. By the way, I can go through a little process here. It didn't fit the shape here, so I cut it off with a abrasive wheel. Hang on a minute. This abrasive wheel on a battery Dremel tool, my battery Dremel tool, laying right down there on the track. I cut it off, oops, wait a minute there. Cut it off straight across. And once I got it cut off and was pretty sure that it was close enough to the fascia there, I kind of just drew, I had it sitting up, and I drew an imaginary line along there, and what I thought it needed to look like, and I cut that with my vibrating Dremel tool, which you've seen me show many times before. Then I used a sanding disc on my Dremel tool and sanded it down to a contour I liked. Then I used a buffing wheel on the Dremel tool to buff the end of this, and it's really got a bunch of powder and stuff on it from cutting plaster and so forth. But once I get that all cleaned up, it's really gonna look nice. And here's a ground level shot. Well, you know what I like too is, since it had the logs in it, you can see the ends of the logs underwater there. And like I say, that'll polish up real nice. But anyway, I really like the way it looks. Okay, the sawmill is in place, and you can see that I used dust dabber to clean off the water. I have a couple of guys to put back on and a couple of pieces, but everything is where it's gonna go. And I have the track in, going back there. comes in, and then I've got the building pretty much sitting where it goes. Well, the two buildings. So I think the next thing would be to put some scenery around this and hold the thing down. But I wanted to get all the track in place. I also put all my sleeper ties in this area so that I don't have to try and lift track later to do it. So sleeper ties are done all the way up to here. So this track that you see down here is all down and all permanent. The only thing it isn't is ballasted. We'll worry about that another day. Okay, everybody. I know this looks the same, and it is the same, but I have all of the sleeper ties in, all the turnouts, all the sleeper ties everywhere, with the exception of right there where it's going to go into the junkyard, and there, because I have to be able to lift that turn up to put them out under there. All the way around, all the track is glued down all the way around to the main line. So everything is pretty much ready to go. I'm thinking about putting 2 tracks in the junkyard this time, an incoming and outgoing track. I'll see about that. I'd like to get that track put in. I guess my main goal today is Saturday, and my main goal today is get all this junk cleaned up off the layout and all the junk cleaned up off the floor. You know how I am. This is how it gets, and this is what I have to walk around. So I don't know. I get all the stuff out and I start working, and the next thing you know, I've got a poop hole like this. So I'm going to work at cleaning that up today, although we're making dog food this morning. And then I'm going to show you something real quick on the Mustang. And poof, just like that, it's all cleaned up. Well, for the most part, except the things I need right now. I don't know if I said it when I was talking about the track back in there, going to the junkyard. I think I'm thinking about putting 2 tracks in the junkyard. But we'll see how that goes. In fact, I've been thinking about moving the junkyard, but that's whole nother deal. I've been considering putting the junkyard along over here. But I don't know. And maybe putting a couple other industries back in there. But I'm not real sure. I still haven't made any decisions on this area down here. But I did get most of the table cleaned off. Still have my drills in here because I have some holes I need to drill down through for some lighting wire. And I have 2 pieces of track sitting out and 2 pieces of cord. So depending on what I do decide to do with the junkyard, I have something out to do it without digging it out again. As I've said before, everything for the junkyard is in there. I had some leftover pieces of backdrop, and I'm just trying to figure out how to utilize some of that to fill in just along the top of the back of those buildings back there. And I'm not quite sure how to do it yet, but I have this little strip here that is kind of interesting to me. I'm thinking about that back over there on the other side of the movie theater. But we shall see. I just don't know yet. And I've got a couple more backdrop pieces that I haven't broke out yet. But if I can cut some of that up and use it just at the tops behind those buildings back there, it would make me extremely happy. But we'll see. For tonight, that's about it. Okay, gang. I told you I wanted to show you something on the Mustang. I bought a Vevor set of paintless dent repair tools for $90. I had 3 dents in this body, one right about there, a door ding right about there, and I had a big dimple right back behind the door handle on that quarter panel back there. And I worked on them with the tool, and as you can see, I'm not a professional. If you look at it real close, it's not perfect, but the big dents, well, I mean, you know, pretty good sized dents. I mean, they were 1/4 inch deep, probably, that one. But anyway, they're out of there. And I think the side of the car looks pretty darn good. So I'm pretty happy with my workmanship on it and the tools. But I just wanted to show you that real quick. And I'm going to try and slip in a picture of the dents, at least one of the dents that you can see, the bigger one. Another thing I'm just going to tell you real quick on top of that. If you guys haven't tried them, and I'm a newbie, I was telling Robin that my feet hurt when I was out there working on the layout, and she suggested getting a pair of Crocs. I got a pair of Crocs. And actually, so far, I love the things. My feet don't hurt when I'm out there standing. Anyway, kind of a plug for Crocs, but these are, I never thought I'd own a pair, but there they are, and I love the heck out of them. And no, I'm not sponsored by them. Okay, everybody, yesterday I told you I was thinking about moving the junkyard over here, and I still think it's a good idea. I was thinking about putting the junkyard in between the yard here and that track that will come into the junkyard. Then the highway will go on the outside of that, between the outside of the junkyard and that track. And when I get over to about here, I'll make a bridge that goes up and over to the edge of the layout here. That would be the bridge that would take the highway from here, theoretically, into the town area, what will be the town area. This other track that's laid out here would be going to the cattle auction house, somewhere in that area there. There will also be a road to there, and there'll be a utility road that goes back to all this other stuff. But it will come off of the main road over in this area. But I'm kind of liking that theory, or that idea. That way I have a way for the road to get from one side of the layout all the way over and into the town, and roads to feed the things over here, roads to feed the town that will be in here. And I will think of some other type of industry to go in here. I have a lot of choices. I don't need to make a decision today, but I will work on it at some point. I think I've already said in a video that I have all of this stuff in place. I just have not put the sleeper ties in that little section there, or that little section there. I think I'm going to leave that until I figure out what's going to go in this area here. But I have a lot of choices, so we'll see how that goes. And we'll see what I come up with. And I think I have a friend calling me. Hang on a minute. Yep, there she is. Hi, Flicka. Hi, Flicka. Are you going to come in today? No? She's pretty shy about coming into the train room. She'll go on the back porch, and she wants to go in the house, but we just can't let her in there yet with our other cat, Jojo. He's not doing too good. But anyways, the rest of it is all like I showed you yesterday, so we'll leave it at that for right now. And here's just kind of a brief idea as to where these things will go. And now that I'm looking at it, I don't know if there's a reason that the road has to go over the track. That's why it can't go around the back of all this and then just cross over the storage tracks over there. come across these two tracks and into the town. We'll have to check that out, but it looks to me like there's plenty of room for everything. If I put the fuel facility, the fuel and water over here for the diesels and stuff, I think there's going to be enough room. Because this cork right here can cut out of here, and then we'll lower everything down to the ground. I think it's going to be enough room, because this track that goes back there starts here, so we have plenty of room to get those items in there. We even well, yeah, we have plenty of room to even scoot that stuff back this way a little bit. But I was just wanting to put it out there to see how it was going to fit. And it looks like it's going to fit. Okay, gang, that was 27. Don't forget to check out the vintage page as usual. All the other stuff that everybody says. Subscribe, like, all that, if you do. And that's it for now. And thanks for watching.